We are coming off of a meltdown, breakdown of unseen proportions on Bravo. This is nothing we've seen on at least Southern Hospitality.
I did everything I could to help these girls. I do everything, and they think I'm still like, what?
Yeah.
That's what I get? That's what I get for being a good person?
I think if I wasn't at work when I had my breakdown, I would be very valid in how I acted. I think for context, I was really sick with strep throat. I was up until like 3 a.m. that night with Will taking care of me. He had given me like 2 NyQuil at 3 a.m. And then you can imagine NyQuil lasts 12 hours. So I was a little loopy and not feeling good. And that's why when I'm leaning it against the bar and I give Will like that thumbs up, it's because he's like checking to make sure like I'm feeling good. And then obviously the rest is history.
If I think someone's me over, then I have a problem.
That's just like
But at that point, I'm sick, I'm pissed off, and I just see red. And I kind of lose it because these are girls that I love and I value. And, you know, I have always put them before me and put them first. And, you know, Siobhan's my girl, was. Like, I've never had a problem with her. She's never had a problem with me. Like, she's the person where something would happen and we would make eye contact with each other. We'd be like, oh, did you see that? Like, so it was completely out of left field for her to sit me down, let alone sit me down and have like 4 cameras on me and feel
a little bit like she was shooting her shot to be on the show in that moment.
A little bit. I also think to do that in the middle of our shift, I found was highly inappropriate. Like, if you have a problem with me and you need to speak to me about something, you do it when we're not on the clock. You know, that was my takeaway from it. And 2, yeah, it felt kind of like, what are you doing, dude? Like, in the moment, I was like, what are you doing? Like, are you for real right now? So that's also why I just like, I couldn't put a cap on it. Like, I just couldn't. I saw red and there was no going back.
No, I'm gonna lose it. Brad, I'm gonna lose
Breathe.
it.
You gotta.
In watching it, did you have any new takeaways or learn anything about the whole ordeal? Like, in seeing kind of Siobhan and Molly's conversation right beforehand?
They're kind of mean. They're kind of mean. I mean, they were wrong. And now they're going to try and reel it back and look good by pretending to give a shit about my relationship and my feelings. They don't.
I think Emmy deserves better. And coming from someone who really doesn't care for Emmy right now, and I still think she deserves better.
I think that's just kind of a cover up to be like, oh shoot, I kind of look like a bully. I'm going to reel it back by pretending I care about Emmy's feelings. Like, so for me, I kind of just, it was kind of disheartening too. I'm just kind of like, damn, who needs enemies with friends like these?
Right. So how did that then inform the rest of the summer for you? Were you on guard kind of knowing that they had come at you so early on in filming?
Well, all the VIP servers, all the other VIP servers reached out to me, talked to me in person and said they did not ever talk to Siobhan about this, that they don't know what Siobhan was talking about, that it was all on her own accord and that none of them felt that way. They all had my back. So for the rest of the summer, I kind of just was like, okay, you just embarrassed yourself on national television. Like, that's your, I don't need to do anything now. But I was then like, all right, like, game on. Like, I guess this is how it's gonna go.
I saw a lot of conversation online of people being like, why do they have to buy their own uniforms? But as far as I know, that's kind of standard practice in the industry, right?
For as long as I've worked at Republic, we've always bought our own dresses and uniforms.
Does this snowball into the conversation teased with Leva in the trailer?
You are acting out of pocket.
We sat together for like 3 hours for that lunch, so we talked about so much. Like, that's just like a snippet. The majority of that conversation is actually about me and Will, but the viewers will see that when it airs on TV.
All right. Will's kind of lack of support for you in the moment of the confrontation with Siobhan has made some waves online.
Yes.
They thought I was using my monthly credit to buy all the new dresses. And then I was charging them for
Getting
it.
reimbursed and then pocketing the money?
Yeah.
And you weren't doing that?
Do you see it the way the viewers do, or are they missing something?
They're missing something. So Will, when he comes in, he's confused. He was like, So you didn't do it? Because why am I reacting like this if I didn't do it? So he didn't know if I like, okay, you did it, you got caught, you're freaking out right now, or you didn't do it. And if you didn't do it, why are you freaking out? So it was more of an unfortunate way that he put it, because it was just confusion on why I was reacting then. He was like, okay, so you didn't do it? I didn't want Will getting involved in my work drama either.
Well, there's a lot of conversation around you and Will, regardless of that.
Yeah, I know.
Apparently, it's common knowledge at this law school that this man's slept with multiple people.
He's gonna f you over. I bet you that bitch.
Do you believe he's been unfaithful to you at any point in your relationship?
Never. And I'm not dumb or blinded by the money he doesn't have, by the way. Like, Will isn't sitting on some trust fund. I'm not dating Will, and I don't care about the status of being some lawyer's wife. If I wanted to be a lawyer's wife, I'd be dating a lawyer. Like, Will's a law student. Will's in the negatives when it comes to money right now. Like, so to me, it's like, no, if Will did cheat on me, I would never speak to him again. Goodbye. And, I don't think people know this, but every man I've ever dated, I've broken up with. I've broken up with every man I've ever dated. I said, disrespect me again, and I will break up with you. They did it again, and I broke up with them, and I never saw them again. Like, that is who I am. And I think for me, it's kind of like, I take no, and I know Will like the back of my hand. That man, he's never cheated on me. He's many things, but a cheater's not one of them.
He did seemingly badmouth you a drunken night at Republic.
Yes.
That relationship is a ticking time bomb. And he was saying the most disgusting things I've ever heard a man say about a girl, let alone his girlfriends at the bar. He's like, she's so boring, she's anorexic, she's no fun.
What do you believe from the kind of whispers that have come out of that, and how are you able to move forward?
He did. I mean, Will did talk about me behind my back. That is, that is true. I think, though, that the way you're going to see my castmates portray the conversation and all those words that they choose to use is incredibly extreme, incredibly out of context. And, I think people are going to like to indulge on the reality of what actually went on. I think Will was drunk and said some stuff, but the way they're going to put it is going to make it look like Will hates me, and that, like, you know what I mean? It's going to be taken way out of context.
It seems like it's all going to boil over in the group trip to Lake's lake house, and I think that's where we get you storming off from the table.
Yes.
Relax. So we can go tit for tat.
Talk to me privately.
I don't give a shit about half these people at this table who all have an opinion about my relationship. I'm not going to sit around and talk to them about it. If people want to have conversations with me about my relationship, you can ask me to coffee, but at group events, group dinners, like, anywhere where there's an audience, it's highly inappropriate in my opinion.
You're not holding a press conference.
Well, especially if you claim to be my best friend, like you're just trying to embarrass me in front of, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just so inappropriate.
Will deleted his Instagram before the start of the season. Was it because he knew the conversation was going to be so negative around him?
So Will deleted his Instagram back in August, right after, a few weeks after we wrapped filming and right before he started school. He needs to take care of his mental health. A lot of what happens with Will, happens because he wasn't taking care of his mental health, and he wasn't taking care of himself, and he was in a bad spot. And so social media is a very negative place. And right now, right this moment, Will has to focus on school. The show is airing, and if he has social media, he's going to open up, he's going to read the comments, and it's going to take up his whole capacity, and he won't be able to focus on school. And that's his number one priority.
How are you two doing now, months removed from kind of this pile on from your should-be friends?
Will and I are genuinely great. Will is my best friend, and I think that's what's really hard is watching this season, be portrayed as though my best friend hates me. It's really hard for Will too. Just because we love each other. That's my best friend. And so, we're better than ever. We're doing great. Will just went skiing with me and my family out in Jackson Hole over Christmas. My family loves Will. My sisters love Will. My one sister is, an Apache helicopter pilot. So if Will was doing anything bad, she'd, be on his ass like white on rice. So, I mean, I'm very happy with Will right now. And let me tell you, if Will was a lot of what he's being depicted to be, I would be nowhere near him.
Yeah. Who do you think is most responsible for kind of stirring the pot when it comes to the conversation around you and Will? Is it TJ? Is it somebody else?
Who? The mouth of the South? Oh, TJ? No. Yes. Yeah, I think a lot of it is TJ and Brad. I think, Lake and Molly are going to have their 2 cents probably as well, because I have nothing nice to say, so I'm going to try and be positive. I think TJ and Brad are my biggest heartbreaks of the season and are causing me a lot of pain, and especially Will. I mean, because they're not only my closest friends, they're Will's. So, I mean, it's a lot this season.
Do you still consider them friends, or are they, okay, they've moved down a tier or 2?
TJ showed his true colors. I have yet to see Brad's true colors. Like, I literally will have to watch this season to see where he truly stood, because I don't know. He kept me in the shadows of where he stood with me and Will and all that. But TJ was very vocal about it, as you guys saw. So TJ is at arm's length. Brad, he's on my FBI watch list.
So then who do you feel you can trust and confide in this circle now?
Well, ironically, me and Will are super close with Maddi and Joe. And then I'm best friends with Michaels. I'm texting Michaels right now. Like, I wake up and me and Michaels are texting. I go to bed and Michaels is the last person I'm texting. Like, we work out together every day. Like, he's my best friend. So he's definitely, my person with all this going on.
What a wise 22-year-old that kid is.
The wisest. I have to keep reminding myself that my youngest sister, Peyton, is 18, and that Michaels is 4 years older than her, and I'm 4 years older than Michaels. I'm just kind of like, I can't believe Michaels was born after 9/11.
I can't take that on right now. On the Maddi and Joe front, do you think they're a good fit for each other? And are they legally married?
No. Yes, they are a perfect fit for each other. You want to know why? They're best friends, and then they're romantically involved. And there is nothing either one of them can do that they would be like, I can't believe I didn't know this about you. They know everything. They know everything about each other, and they love each other regardless. I mean, they have their little petty fights, but like, I love them together, honestly. Like, it's like cute.
They make sense together. All right, we've got a lot.
They are not married. No. Elvis Presley did not sign they are not married.
We have a lot of season to watch, including the Vegas wedding. Is there anything that we need to brace for impact for as we watch the back half of the season?
Brace for impact. I mean, yeah. I mean, as Molly once said, I'm sick of the Emmy show, but I mean, it's going to be airing for a few weeks.